over time, they start feeling better. Strength starts returning into their bodies. Vitality starts coming back, and their energy for life comes back. Now they want to do things. Now they want to move. Now they're seeing, oh my gosh, this is what intentional movement does for me. Welcome to the Mind Body Podcast. I'm your host, Maria Angelova, and I'm here to challenge everything you have been told about aging and wellness. This podcast is for those who refuse to accept that growing old means growing unhealthy. Each week, I will bring you dynamic conversations with inspirational guests, sharing practical advice, insights, and motivation to live your life rebelliously as you age with grace and vitality. This is your time to embrace self-care, transformation, and an infectious spirit that says no to the conventional and yes to a vibrant, powerful life. Let's dive in and redefine what it means to live well. Hi, Rebels, and welcome to the Mind Body Podcast, your rebellious podcast with me, your host, Maria, where today we get to talk about a topic that is quite relevant nowadays, and that is the topic of arthritis. And why did I decide to talk about arthritis is because I very frequently hear that statement of, I don't want to move because I want to protect my joints. Makes me want to scream. What is one of the best, if not the best thing to do when you have arthritis? Move, move, move. Of course, we're going to talk about this in a second. Move intentionally. But the important point is that you stay mobile. Why? Because when you stop moving, the joints start becoming even stiffer and almost like more fragile. There is even more degeneration. When you move, especially in the joints that are impacted, you bring life there. You keep the synovial fluid moving. You nurture the joints. You provide nutrition for them, and you keep them youthful. And you might be like, what are you talking, Maria? I'm older, and name the spot that you have arthritis. It's killing me. Listen, I will tell you, I have a client. She's in her mid-70s. She used to get infusions in her back with constant pain in her back. She is now pain-free in her 70s. She no longer needs infusions. Why? Because she is intentionally moving. Let's talk about some very important things when it gets to movement when you have arthritis. Okay, when you have arthritis, intentionality beats intensity. What you want to do is you want to be very mindful of your alignment. Why? Because when you are out of alignment, there is compensations. Muscles are not firing biomechanically the way we want them to. That creates additional wear and tear into the body, and that weighs the joints even more, which is what we don't want to do. We want to take pressure off the joints. So maintaining alignment, maintaining your box shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip, while engaging the core. What is the importance of core when it gets to movement, especially with arthritis? It's any kind of movement, but especially arthritis. Because having a strong core takes the pressure off the joints, especially, I would say ankles too, but knees, hips, and spine. And instead of having compression, which exacerbates the pain, we're creating decompression because the core is now engaged and can take the pressure off. So core-centric work, maintaining alignment is super, super important. And here is what I would say. If you don't know what you're doing, and if you're doing a workout after which you feel worse, that is your body telling you that something is off. Please do yourself a favor and find somebody who can help you with that, because I am telling you, you can help your body youthten and restore despite having arthritis. Let's talk about some areas that I'll tell you most frequently I see arthritis. Back, usually low back, hips. And you know what's another very interesting spot that I see arthritis? The big toes. Yes, especially in aging people. And have you guys seen how older people shuffle their feet? they start losing articulation through the foot. They start losing mobility through the foot. And then when they start shuffling, if there is a sidewalk and their foot catches, what happens? A fall, right? So keeping the areas where there is arthritis. So what can you do for the feet, for example? You can practice articulating the foot. If you are watching this on video, you have the benefit because I'm imitating articulating the foot with my hand. But basically, you can press the ball of the foot evenly. If you have arthritis in the big toe, be mindful because the toe would rotate to the outside. So you want to press and gently roll through that foot, lifting that heel up. Here is another trick that you can do. None of this should cause you pain. You can take some kind of stick, like when my clients do online sessions, they take, for example, a broom. And the stick of the broom, you're going to put it, if the arthritis here is around the big toe, you're going to put that broom right between the big toe and the second toe. You're going to slide it down and then gently press down and then slowly lift the heel up as you press that big toe down. And you're going to feel like, ooh. And I'll tell you, I have clients who their foot was completely rotating out because of the arthritis, and they're gaining full mobility through their foot by continuously working the work and mobilizing the area. We want to keep things mobile, right? That is what we started with. Let's go into the hips. Well, like I said, just like the foot, wherever the arthritis is, that's what you want to move. So you want to make sure that your hips can maintain range of motions in all of the directions, right? Nothing should cause pain. So you want to be able to flex the hip, extend from the hip, internal rotation, external rotation. You want to keep the area nice and alive. You also want to make sure that you do exercises that decompress the hip. Let's move on to the spine. Very consistent. You want to decompress the spine. Why? To take pressure off the vertebrae and potentially even nerves, right? Depending on how much the degeneration is. And you also want to maintain mobility as much of the spine. And listen, the more you wait, the harder it is going to be. And in the beginning, you can start with tiny ranges of motions. I have a client, she has big back injuries. Her spine was like a rod, completely frozen. We started with literally millimeter range of motions mobility, and you will not believe how far this woman has come along. She's off painkillers, she's off her muscle relaxers, she is feeling amazing. So I'm telling you from experience that this can be done. Hey Rebels, I want to take a quick moment to share something super exciting with you. If you've been feeling stuck, disconnected, or just know there is more to life than what you're experiencing, I have something special for you. I have created a powerful 6-step video series called Unleash Your Potential, an introduction to the Angelova method. As a valued mind-body podcast listener, the series is my gift to you. In this series, I will guide you through the core elements of the Angelova method, a unique approach that integrates movement, mindset, and mastery to help you align your body, mind, and life. You will learn practical techniques to improve your alignment, boost your core strength, and connect deeply to your inner self. Whether you're looking to enhance your physical health, gain mental clarity, or simply live more fully, these videos are designed to get you started on the path to your most vibrant self. And the best part? It's completely free. So if you're ready to break through barriers and unleash your full potential, head over to mindbodyexpert.com and get started today. Let's take this journey together, because you, my rebel, deserve nothing less than the extraordinary. Let's talk about another aspect which I kind of touched on before, and that is the aspect of pain. When we're not moving, when everything just keeps getting stiffer and stiffer, that's going to get more and more compensations to kick in. That starts impacting our mental state. And then movement becomes dreadful because, if I make the tiniest move, I may experience pain, which then reinforces not moving, which is the worst thing you can do when you have arthritis. And it becomes a vicious cycle. So the less that you move, the more you hurt. The more you hurt, the less that you want to move. This is again where it is important to find a routine, a movement routine that also helps you regulate your nervous system. When you are on overdrive, when you're stressed, when you're tense, let's talk about stress and tension really quick. They go hand in hand. When you're stressed, that tenses the body. When the body is tense, that creates stiffness in your muscles. That leads to almost automatically getting you to go into compensations because of the state your body is in. So regulating your nervous systems, one, will help you get out of misalignments and compensations faster. But it will also help you with the emotional and mental aspect of pain. When you do intentional movement and feel better, and once again, I have seen that. I have seen patient clients who are almost at the state of depression of where they are. And over time, they start feeling better. Strength starts returning into their bodies. Vitality starts coming back, and their energy for life comes back. Now they want to do things. Now they want to move. Now they're seeing, oh my gosh, this is what intentional movement does for me. Now they want to exercise more because they know what to pay attention to. They know how to maintain a core engaged. They know how to maintain alignment. And it completely shifts their view of life, truly. So I want you to know arthritis is simply a diagnosis. What you do with it, and there is a lot you can do with it. Again, speaking from experience, firsthand experience working with people, you can reduce a lot of the pain through intentional movement. I will reinforce again, we're not going after intensity. If, let's say you have arthritis in your knee and you, go play basketball, obviously not a great choice of an exercise because you probably don't want to create impact for that joint. After you do the exercise, if there is pain, that is signal for you that what you're doing is not fitting what your body needs. And it is very important for you to respect that, because if you don't, you are going to keep creating misalignments, which are going to keep making the pain more and more, which is going to lead to a whole slew of other issues. So I would love to know, what kind of questions do you have? I would love for you to tell me or self-reflect of, am I preventing arthritis from getting me to stay active? And if so, why is that? Is there just a background noise and belief and fear that if I move, I'll be in pain? Or have I attempted to move and there is actually discomfort or pain? And can I seek assistance for that? That is why there are people like me out there, right? And I'll tell you, the Angelova method, it is a brilliant method, especially for people with aches and pains, because it is very light on the joints. Pilates is another great one, right? It is very light on the joints and decompresses the hips, decompresses the spine, works on articulation of the spine, flexibility of the spine, mobility, super important. And while this episode is on the topic of arthritis, I would love to say that everything that I said applies to every single one of us, even when we have healthy bodies, because these are, so to say, rules for life. And what are they in summary? Keep moving. When you move, you should feel great, re-energized, and vibrant. Movement helps your mental state, your emotional state. And the more you move, the better you feel. The better you feel, the more you want to move. And it becomes contagious. And as you guys have heard me say before, once you fall in love with movement, you don't ever have to exercise a day in your life. What do you say? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share, like, subscribe. Please encourage anybody who might be choosing to not move to perhaps tune into this episode. Encourage them to start small and consistent to where they build strength and feel great. That's it. Keep moving, stay rebellious, and I will see you next time. Sending much love. Thank you for joining us on the Mind Body Podcast, where we explore the power of living authentically and rebelliously. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow rebellious soul who would love to hear what we share as much as you do. Stay strong, stay calm, and most importantly, stay rebellious. Until next time, rebellious souls, keep living fully. Your journey is just beginning.